purge the chaos. In the 41st millennium, chaos and war reign supreme. Chaos breeds the infected, the heretical, the warped. Chaos will seep into your mind and infect your very soul. War is the only answer, the only solution, but eventually chaos is the only outcome. The hive city of Tertium stood as a bastion against the encroaching darkness. Within its towering spires and labyrinthine depths, life teemed with desperation and strife. It was here, amidst the chaos, that the unlikely duo of Styx, a psyker that seemed stranger than most, one who was growing secretly with power, one that was possibly veering too close to the edge, and Groon, a hulking ogren with scars that told of tales of countless battles. He was an ogren of little brain power, but one of immense physical strength. But Groon's massive frame and brutish appearance concealed a surprising gentleness, an intense loyalty, forged through the shared struggles in the darkness of the Underbelly and the dangers that lurked in the hive's dark corners. They had been through many battles together, fought side by side, saved each other from certain doom, pain, torment, and death at the hands of the Heretics. They have survived together, lived together, through the unsettling boredom on board the Morning Star as it hovered over the industrial planet of Atoma Prime, waiting for the next mission to come through. They had shared secrets, shared their lives, but not anymore. Not now the psyker was holding back, for it was too dangerous for his friend to conceive. Too dangerous for anyone to notice, possibly even too dangerous for Styx to realize himself, let alone control. Currently, after leaving the putrid-smelling infested Underbelly behind them, they navigated the twisted corridors of the hive city itself with a cautious grace. Styx carried the heavy burden of his psychic abilities, a power that would easily draw the attention of the Inquisition, if not kept in check. But despite the inherent danger, he harbored a burning desire to harness and control his powers, seeking a purpose greater than mere slavery, mere survival.
Tell me, Groon, do you ever have feelings like those two pesky veterans you ran into on our last mission?
Oh, you mean those two hairy ticks?
Yes, but for the last time, Groon, they're not hairy ticks, okay? It's one word, heretics.
Oh, yeah. I remember you told me that once before. Heretics.
Yes, very good, Groon. So, do you?
What's that then?
Oh, for the Emperor's sake, Groon, will you keep up? I said, do you ever have feelings like they did? You know, wanting to escape this life, this slavery. Do something for yourself.
Like what?
Well, I don't know. Go and settle on an agri-world. At least it might be peaceful-ish. If you get the right work, I suppose. I hear some of them can be quite pleasant to live on.
Oh, nah. Not really for me. I likes to be bashing things with me club, I do. Especially bad, stinky things that try and hurt ya.
Yes, very good, Groon. Never mind, then.
The duo's journey had begun when rumors of a heretical cult surfaced, spreading like wildfire through the hive's impoverished districts. Once again they had signed up, and once again they had been left waiting, but at least this time they had been sent in alone instead of being teamed up with uncooperative or even traitorous team members. The vicinity they occupied was a relatively low density. They had battled the occasional horde, a singular poxhound, but nothing of any significance for their abilities. That was until Styx had sensed a dark undercurrent in the warp, a disturbance that beckoned his abilities. And against the advice of Groon, who feared the consequences of meddling with such matters, the psyker resolved to investigate. As they delved deeper into the Underbelly, the stench grew stronger. The heat intensified, the humidity became almost unbearable.
Oh, I'm not sure I can take much more of this, you know.
Almost there, Groon. I can feel it.
You know, I heard that fat, is what keeps people warm.
Yes, that's true, Groon. The body's natural defense.
Well, I've got lots of it, you know, on account of how big I am and all that.
Yes, okay, understood. We won't go too much further.
Their journey led them through dimly lit tunnels, deserted sewers, and subway systems, steam erupting from the piping. Drops of condensation fell and gathered into stagnant ponds. The stench of desperation hung heavy in the thick air. As they delved deeper into the heart of the hive, the oppressive atmosphere intensified, and the duo could feel the malevolent presence growing stronger. Finally, in a long-forgotten chamber, deep within the hive, Styx and Groon stumbled upon the clandestine gathering of the heretical cult. The chamber was large, but the darkness enveloped and concealed it within its presence. Candles lined the outer walls and illuminated the purity seals that had been fixed to the cold-stained stone. The seals adorned every wall, a clear and chaotic mockery to the rotting carcass that was the Imperium. At the chamber's center, hooded figures charted in an ancient language, their dark rituals unfolding before the duo's eyes. Styx's psychic senses flared, revealing the taint of chaos that permeated the air, and it sent a shiver down his spine, a shiver that filled his soul with anxiety, a shiver that petrified him, a shiver that excited him. Groon whispered to his friend.
What is it they're doing then?
I don't really know, Groon. Looks like some form of blessing, maybe. Seems dangerous, whatever it is.
Oh. We don't like danger, do we?
No, we do not.
Well, we do like danger, but we like bashing it, not being caught up in it.
Yes, okay, very good, Groon.
So, is it bash time then?
Oh, bugger! I think it is now.
Suddenly, the cultists became aware of the intruders, as first one turned, and then another, and then another. Beneath the shroud cast by their hoods, their eyes blazed with malevolent fire. The clansmen rushed toward them, each revealing a long sword from within their robes. Groon rushed to meet them, his shield held high, his club held higher.
Beat it, Pyrenees!
And in the dimly lit chamber, the clash of steel and club against bone reverberated in the air. Styx held his force staff in front of him, but he dared not use the burning blue flame while Groon was amongst them. He became infuriated, impatient, angered. The cultist fell, but suddenly more appeared from the tunnels out of sight, hidden in the darkness. Groon's massive fists crunched his foes with brutal efficiency, but with his back turned, the cold searing pain of a blade carving its way down his ribcage. Groon released a cry of pain and fury, and almost on impulse, he launched into a bull rush.
Stomp! Stomp! Stomp!
The hooded men were sent flying in every direction, as Groon pummeled through them and eventually stopped near the far wall. Now, with Groon out of the way, Styx dropped his staff. He had seen enough. He felt powerless with Groon in his way. His anger, his fury, had reached a boiling point, and now with arms outstretched and fingers rigid, he released an intensified smite. The electrical current seared through his veins. The sparks lit the room with an intense light, and the pain surged through his enemies as it connected to each and every one of them, forming an electrical chain that bound the hooded men as it sapped their life force from them all. As the last cultist fell, a sudden and somehow deafening silence filled the chamber. Styx fell to his knees, seemingly in pain, his chest and back heaving. Groon slowly walked over the dead and burning bodies as he approached his friend.
My friend, are you okay, Styx?
No answer came, only panting breaths.
I didn't know you could do that sort of thing.
No, neither did I, Groon.
It was very pretty, though.
Yes, and somewhat dangerous, too. I don't quite know where it came from.
Oh, well, never the matter. That's another skill to use against the baddies, isn't it?
Yes. I just don't like how it made me feel.
What do you mean? Too puny for all the power?
Well, it felt...
Suddenly, the thunderous footsteps of a mighty being echoed within the chamber. They grew closer and closer. Styx gathered his forestaff and rose to his feet. Groon turned to face the dark tunnel from which the sound was emanating from, the grip on his club and shield now tightening. As the thunderous steps reached their loudest from within the darkness, a figure began to emerge. A figure clad in twisted black and gold armor, shrouded in the shadows, his mighty presence rivaling Groon in stature. Tattered cloth hung from his suit and replicated the decay and deterioration that mirrored his faith and descent from the Emperor's light. He stopped before them, his eyes glowing like burning embers, pure red with untold hatred. He was instantly recognizable. A Chaos Space Marine. Now they stood before the architect of this heresy, this ritual, this summoning. The air thickened with dark energy as the Psyker and the Ogren prepared to face this formidable adversary. Groon launched himself at the Chaos Marine, his club already in motion. But with a seemingly effortless move, the Marine parried the Ogren's attack, and with a swift punch to the back of the head, he sent Groon flying into the wall. With the Marine's back turned, and Groon safely out of the way, Styx lifted his Purgatus forestaff and unleashed a volley of blue flame that engulfed his enemy. The Chaos Marine, his outline barely visible through the flames, merely turned to face Styx and began walking toward him. Styx relinquished the flame and lifted the staff in an attempt to ram its jagged head into the Marine's torso, but the staff was grabbed with ease and ripped from the Psyker's hands. Styx could only watch as the Marine loomed over him. But in the corner of his eye, he could again see Groon rushing into the fight. This time the Ogren made contact, slamming his club behind the Marine's knee. The hulking soldier knelt slightly as Groon smashed the club into the Marine's back. The impact sent a bone-shuddering echo throughout the chamber. But once again, the Marine gathered himself and flung Groon aside. This time, as Groon slammed into the wall and slumped onto the floor, the Chaos Marine lifted his bolter and fired.
No!
Shouted Styx, anger boiling inside him now, as he immediately cast a protective shield around Groon's body. The bullets impacted the shield and dissipated, all within terrifying proximity of Groon's face. Now the Chaos Marine turned once more to face the Psyker. Styx was shaking with fury, his eyes burning with anguish, and the Marine slowly began to laugh.
I can feel the evil rising within you, consuming you. Can you feel it too? Can you feel the warp's hold, squeezing you, draining you?
Styx continued to shake. His body felt paralyzed with some fear, some force, his fingers pulsing with an unknown energy. The Chaos Marine thrust his arm forward, his hand tightening around Styx's throat, as he lifted the Psyker into the air. Groon, his loyalty unyielding, engaged the Heretic in another brutal melee. This time, the impact was so powerful that the sheer force of it disconnected the Marine's helmet and sent it flying across the chamber floor. The Marine instantly dropped the Psyker and grabbed Groon instead. The hold on his neck was unwavering as he pummeled Groon with blow after blow. Blood flew freely from the Ogren's face as it misted the air and painted the chamber walls. In a desperate gambit, Styx chose to harness this strange new energy that flowed through his veins. He channeled the warp's power, unleashing a torrent of psychic energy that engulfed the Chaos Space Marine. The heretic roared in agony as the fire consumed him, burning him from the inside. Groon fell to the floor and backed away from the danger, his arm and chest also badly burnt in the crossfire. The Marine fell to his knees as Styx retrieved his staff, and in one sickening blow, he swung the metal staff into the Marine's head and knocked him down to the ground. Yet as Styx stood over his defeated opponent, the Chaos Marine, through bloodied and burned eyes, gazed up at Styx, and his laughter erupted once more, for he could see the transition. He knew the path well, and it only ever spiraled in one direction. Now, Styx thrust his hand forward and began to quench his fingers into a fist, the brain burst activating with extreme pressure. Die! He cried as the Marine's head exploded before him. Exhausted and wounded, the duo had emerged victorious, but now forever changed by the ordeal. Groon, though battered, stood tall, his loyalty unwavering, but a new fear stirred within him. Although it was not a fear for himself, it was a fear for his friend.
Are you okay now, Styx? Only I didn't too much like all that business back there.
Yes, Groon. Yes, I'm fine. You did very well there, Groon, and the Emperor thanks you.
Well, that's good then. As long as you're okay.
Yes, yes. Don't you worry about me, big fella. I'll be just fine.
Styx, haunted by the raw power he had just unleashed, grappled with the consequences of embracing these new abilities, of embracing the void. He would dwell on this matter later. He would find a solution, a controllable medium. Surely there was a way to manage this. Surely. And as they left the dark, bloodied, and corpse-littered chamber, the hive city of Tertium loomed around them, a testament to the unending struggle against the forces of chaos. The unlikely pair ventured forth into the shadows once more, their destinies intertwined by the grim darkness. But the paths that lay ahead of them were now, more than ever, shrouded by the unknown.